Greetings, Trigon shareholders and other stakeholders. Doing this to introduce you to our new Vice President of Corporate Development, Mr. Tom Panoulias. Tom is an investment professional that I've known through a good chunk of my career. He helped in financing projects that I've been involved in Brazil, and has been close to the Trigon story over the last couple of years, and in fact already been to site. But Tom, I wanted if you could give us some of your capital markets experience, share some of your background.
Perfect. Thank you, Jed, for having me, and greetings to all the Trigon shareholders for having me on the video call. Just by way of background on myself, first started in getting my capital markets experience working at Dundee in investment banking, and then went to lead the mining practice for Fraser McKenzie, which was a boutique mining and oil and gas shop. And then from there, went off to lead the mining practice for Echelon Capital Markets, which is now called Ventum. During that time, I helped facilitate over $1 billion in equity financings in the junior mining market. So I've got over around 15 years of experience in capital markets.
Awesome. And from some pretty well-established pedigree in corporate development.
Prior to my capital market days, I'm more of a finance background, not so much on the technical side. I kind of did things a little opposite. I actually went and worked at a mine. I used to work for TVX at the Cassandra project, which is known as the Olympias and Skouries project, which is now owned by Eldorado. And then after that, I held post of Vice President Corporate Development for Kinross Gold, where I worked under the tutelage of Bob Buchan and Ty Burt. I worked on all the acquisition and divestiture mandates during that particular time. So I got my hands, I have not only capital markets experience, but I also have project level experience as well. I think I'm well-rounded from that kind of perspective.
Now, Trigon, we're working on being a more sophisticated company, and it's great to have somebody with your experience. Can you share a bit about your strategy when it comes to corporate development and corporate engagement?
Oh, sure. My philosophy on corporate engagement is threefold. It's what I like to call my EPI: ensure, promote, and identify. Firstly, to ensure full engagement with our current and prospective shareholders on all technical and financial matters that would relate to Trigon, as well as all macro events. Promote and enhance the company's image and corporate goals to the investment community via conferences that we would be attending and all the corporate, digital, and social marketing that's involved in that endeavor. And lastly is identify potential accretive opportunities for the company via either acquisition or joint venture that could help build on what the company already has and build its, what I use as a metric all the time, NAV per share.
Awesome. And you're going to be keenly focused on building our institutional shareholder base.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, what is it that attracted you to the Trigon story?
Well, firstly, is obviously we're in a very hot copper market right now, as we all know. Copper production in stable jurisdiction is by far foremost. Namibia is one of those places. So I'm glad to see that the locale fits in the sweet spot in terms of what I'm looking for. But more importantly, it's really the production growth profile for the company. And, you're slated to produce around 12.5 million pounds of copper in this fiscal year, and then growing over the next 3 years to around 65 million pounds of copper annually. I don't know many in our peer group that has that kind of trajectory. So that is very exciting for me. Also, your exploration potential. From what I've seen recently, there's a lot of potential to replace existing resource base at depth and along strike. But more importantly, you also have a very large land package there, 35 kilometers in strike along the existing combat mine. There are signs there. I've seen some of the drill holes that have come out that, in my opinion, could potentially host satellite deposits for combat in the future. What really is the reason why I've looked at Trigon is the team that you've already built. It's deep, it's a very talented team, and I'd be happy to work alongside to help realize your production growth over the next few years, because I believe that will generate strong returns for our shareholders. So those are pretty much the key reasons why I'm kind of attracted to the Trigon story. The growth profile speaks for itself. Yes, starting off a mine, yes, when you start a mine in the beginning, there's always a couple tweaks that we have to deal with. But I feel that right now we've gotten all that behind us right now, and we're well poised to execute on the next two stages of growth. Also, you don't have, from a financial perspective, the company's not tied down to any debt. We have the ability, if necessary, to lever to realize on our growth potential. That's pretty much key for us at this particular point.
I have to say I agree. Yeah, I think, one, welcome to the team. I think you're going to be an important addition. Also, just noting this week, we did put in place a working capital facility that we have been planning to over the past couple of months. It gives us a little bit of a buffer, but also helps us in that plan to grow our production over the next 12 months. In the next month or so, we'll report on a couple of quarters. So our Q4 will be reported by the end of the month. And then I think the all-important Q1, which is where we'll really be able to demonstrate profitability, will be reported in August. So a key time. We're continually working on tweaking the team and improving the story. And I think, Tom, you're going to be an important part of that. Again, as I always say, stay tuned. Lots going on in this space. A lot going on for us as a company, and what ultimately we'll look back on as a key inflection point here.
Perfect. Well said, Jed. And like I said, look forward to starting in August and rolling up the sleeves and driving forward.